Hello, everybody. Yet another week without my camera, so no Jones camera either. I'm sorry. But welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. We are on session 131, where we play D&D using the system that we call 5.M. M for Materia. Haha, so creative. Woo! All right. Anyhow, in exciting D&D news, I don't know. Spelljammer races are
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Are they
Let's
actually
be
out now?
honest. They're out now.
Ah, okay.
The Haberzine might be the most broken thing in the whole world if they don't errata it ASAP, because it can glide 5 feet for every 1 foot of falling. So as long as you can jump more than 1 foot, oh, and it doesn't count extra movement. So if you have 30 feet of movement, 30 times 5 is
Yeah.
150.
Yep.
They could basically move 150 feet a turn at level 1, because there's no limit to how many times you can jump in a turn, apparently. So, anyways, that doesn't diverge. I digress. So hey, we're in Materia. Hey, we're in Carver. Hey, the story continues with the menagerie getting assaulted by assailants that were most definitely, sent by to harass and ascertain and capture and possibly kill and do other horrible deeds to the menagerie, um, while retrieving the Scalesworn blade, uh, to the Tefra Shelf. Uh, the Tefra Trustees, for a little bit of memory jogging, is the group that runs Carver. And I say runs Carver in air quotes because they're basically just the rich teams on top of the hill, um, that live in a very enclosed environment and don't care about the mass populace of Carver. Uh, the menagerie, last session, honestly, they got it basically just was a hunker down and hold down the fort kind of um, session where they were made alert, thanks to, originally I think it was said he spotted someone in the shadows lurking outside of the knot bar, which then sparked Dregnar into action, which he easily chased down and apprehended one of these assailants, uh, where there was an orb, and the menagerie were able to ascertain, um, visually, that someone was watching and listening in, possibly, on what was going on. Uh, the group prompted it to be more defensive, spread out, sent out Pebble on patrol, where she spotted numerous groups of individuals that seemingly were able to run through town without being noticed. Um, Granted, right now Carver doesn't necessarily have a ton of people walking around it because it's just the constant storm. Uh, but still, she spotted them. The menagerie and the two candlelighters, Mole Solomon, the Minotaur Paladin, and Eno Voija, the Tiefling Elementalist, uh, set up shop in or well, basically they hunkered down in the Knot Bar, but the candlelighters went over to the building across the street, and a few of the menagerie members went on the other building across the street, on the roof. Essentially, there was a long waiting game, and then it the assailants did eventually reveal themselves, and then the menagerie and the candlelighter allies sprung to action, where they used the dagger as bait, uh, though it seemed like the assailants were a little bit more aware of what was going on and able to not necessarily get the jump, but start the conflict on their terms. Um, all things said, the menagerie and their friends managed to dispatch of all the assailants, who proved to be alive and difficult to pin down for the most part, leaving another one alive. Um, there, they retreated into the Knot Bar, where Grim wanted nothing to do with it, so he went back down into the cellar and just noped out of there. While Goija stayed out using various elemental magics to get rid of the evidence that there was a conflict, where the rest of the menagerie began to interrogate and question the now second captured hooded assailant, who happened to be an elven male individual that upon some further investigation of him, as well as the numerous bodies that they had, uh, they were all elven. They were all showing some signs of draconic or reptilian or something influence. Some of them, their eyes were a little different. Some of them had some little fangs in their mouths. They all had scaly patches of skin. All of them were utilizing weapons, most notably a dagger, not as ornate as the Scalesworm blade, but of almost like a Chris design uh, that had a gem in it, and it seemed to magically induce some sort of poison. And the menagerie also ascertained that these individuals had fake teeth, or a fake tooth that had like a poison capsule in it. So the one that they were interrogating, they managed to, with the help of Mole's, what do you call it? Magical gag, to stop them from biting down on their tooth and killing themselves. So now they had two people to question. As Al uses his tiefling heritage to pry and unravel the minds of the people he's questioning, he's getting pictures and an understanding of the grasp that uh, Maxime Loran, the leader of the Loran house and likely the de facto leader of the Tefra Shelf, uh, his grasp of fear and tyranny on his people, uh, and the fact that there's more to him than meets the eye. Um, Possibly most foreshadowed in the shadow of one of the guy's memory, where the shadow is more of like a draconic figure rather than an elven man. Uh, but yeah, I think that's a decent enough recap, unless if there's some crucial detail someone wants to throw in.
We stole orbs from them.
Oh yes. Okay. So yes, upon getting the bodies along with the daggers, there were two other orbs. Um, Unlike the one orb that they got from the first person that they captured and are still interrogating, these two, imagine them as like being, well, I don't know, roughly palm-sized glass orbs that have a dark, dark green color to it, almost black, but they are clear. Like if they, as you could see through them, but it gets very, the light doesn't manage to pass all the way through. These are murky and cloudy and almost like broken. Um, so yeah, if there's anything else, let me know. But the weather continues to be overcast and rainy. The sounds of thunder continue to rumble up above, high in the sky. Oh, that's the other thing. Erected his entrance to his version of the magnificent mansion inside of the Knot Bar, and that is where the numerous
The
bodies of the dead
magnificent morgue.
assailants. Yeah, it is now the that is a good name for it. It is now the magnificent morgue and the magnificent prison for the two surviving assailants. So, do you guys remember what the investigation check was? I don't. I could check. I know it
For
was like
whom?
really high. I think it was a 34, right? Because of the 20 and then the 7 and the
Yeah,
7.
it was super high. You're talking about Karos's,
Okay.
I think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Karo's investigation. Okay. So I
Yeah, it's
will.
up here. You see 20 and then the
Yeah,
14.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see it now. Okay. I don't know why I tried to look for it earlier and I just couldn't find it. I don't know. I just glanced over it. Um, the Karos, as he's spent some time kind of looking over the blades, uh, fiddling it with it in his hands, kind of balancing it, putting the tip of the blade very gently and gingerly, pressing onto it with the meat of his finger, not to break the skin. Uh, there's a point of recognition to it, not in the design, but perhaps in like the functionality. Um, because he rolled so high, it is kind of what you would refer to maybe as like a headhunter's blade or like a tracker's blade. Um, he's tagged. He was injured by this blade, and for undenounced amount of time, anyone that is affiliated with this blade will be able to track him within a certain distance. Um, the fact that these are all very similar blades means that they might all kind of feed back the little tracking beacon or relay, however you want to look at it, back to a central location. And as you see, like Karos is kind of rubbing the side of his chest where he got stabbed or slashed, and while it managed to kind of get by his armor ever so slightly, it's not a bad wound at all. There, that nick, um, it's easily stopped bleeding, but upon a little bit of investigation, the veins there are just ever so slightly, discolored, kind of indicating that he is tracked.
Interesting.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these poisonous tracking blades. Though I don't know how good they will do you, but you have them if you need them. Oh yeah, and you have also 11 wrist blades. So
Or was it 11 daggers as well?
yes, each of the assailants that what, and you're fairly confident that Cars did a really good pat down and shake up. They they all, their clothing does not seem to be special really in any way. Um, I will say that there are and there is a slight alteration to their clothing, which are like the dark hoods, the classic, what you would fantasy skulker. Um, that there are in certain points just a few stitched in glyphs and symbols, which in themselves are inert and useless, but um, they do act as catalyst for magical incantations and spells potentially. And you saw that he pulled out a scroll that he handed to Rock, and it is definitely expended, though there are some remnants, almost like a page that was thrown on a fire, but some of it has survived, of the spell that they used to allow them to move so freely and quickly through the town without drawing attention onto themselves, which is akin to like a modified version of a pass without a trace. It's with that high investigation also give it that like that's the incantation was able to set in so well and on such a large group of them because of the attire that they were wearing. Though the attire itself is not considered magical, it's just the addition to these little glyphs. The blades, the wrist blades, the daggers, the two broken orbs, as well as the one functioning, or I say broken, the cloudy orb, the functioning orb or the clear orb, and you have the original scale sword blade that belonged most likely to Califax, the son of Maxime. Fun.
One last thing for my notes.
Mhm.
So did you share all that stuff that you learned from their minds?
Yeah, I think I would have done the same tactic as last time where if the guy stopped talking or stopped speaking common, I'll ask a question, stare at him, and then kind of answer my own question aloud when
Mixture of
I,
consciousness, kind of.
yeah, just as a, mostly to intimidate the guy,
Gotcha.
but also to inform the party.
Okay. And what time
Yeah.
of day is it right now?
You guys slept in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and it was a few hours before you got done talking with Scoot and this. It's probably, if you could see the sun, which you can't, sorry, Sej. Um, you know,
It's okay for now.
yeah. It's getting like 5, 6 o'clock in the
So
evening.
almost dusk.
Yeah, it's called almost dusk. Because there's no
Oh,
real o'clock in Materia. I guess O candle if we were an avatar.
Oh,
But go ahead.
torch.
I like
Yeah.
it. If I could actually ask Karos, um,
Mm.
he had a look at the daggers and was able to determine they were tracking.
Yeah.
I'd ask him, those sound like they could be useful to us? Do you know if the tracking is like in the wielder's head, or does it go to like some central silt that we don't want to deal with.
Oh,
If you could make an assumption, I don't know how much you could determine.
the thing is, they all look the same. He's kind of like holding two of them. They're balanced. I think they're the same. They feel, they look.
So, like
They've
anybody in the group could track.
potentially, but I don't know where that tracking signal is.
Or how far
I'm
up.
assuming it's shared between the blades, but maybe it's also shared somewhere else.
Mm.
Or how far. But I mean, I'm pegged, so
Well,
if it goes beyond these, well, it points to the door of the magnificent morgue. Those dead 9 and 2 captured, we might be, you know, being loud wherever we travel without intentionally being loud.
oh, can you make Karos controllable by everyone?
It's not.
I don't have control of it.
He's literally the first one that I did.
I
I
don't.
do not.
It's weird. It
This
worked
is
for
non-generic
Dragon.
Karos. See. Okay.
I have
I did last
refreshed.
time because I. Oh, did it work if you refresh?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, try now. Try Karos.
No.
Okay, let's just do this.
Just
Goodbye, Karos.
redrop his token or something. I mean, the
Yeah.
thing is, well, I was gonna say I had numbers on him, which were his health and stuff.
Control Z. 110.
Oh, okay. Oh no, that was like 2 sessions ago when he wasn't here. He was here.
That's
last
the
session.
only numbers that I have on
Yeah, and that's on his D&D Beyond sheet. So.
there. Okay, cool. Karos of the Dusk Watchers. Karos of the Dusk Watchers. There you go.
Still don't have
He's
control
smart.
though.
Nope.
I know. Well, give me a second.
Oh, okay.
I have to actually go into the token after I drop it and do the tweaking.
Got it.
All right. It is a non-generic that all players have access.
Yeah, now I do.
They weird.
So good.
Just
No, it works.
weird.
It works for me.
What does
Okay.
that mean? Yes.
Yes, it does mean you can do that. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
You
Sorry,
have
just-
the power.
Just checking.
Yeah. There you go.
We all
You could also delete all of them.
but don't.
Let's see. What do we need
I've
to
removed
do?
that key from my keyboard.
Just...
Now,
Alright.
quick heads up. Rock left something in chat. He's gonna be away for a hot minute.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, so Rock would suggest as an option that we, I'm assuming he means assailants. If we think we can find them, interrogate the one that have passwords names. That's smart. Okay, yeah. So, Rock would kind of step up. Al, you still able to go digging in his head?
I think I'd have to start again, but yeah. I'm not sure how
I
much
mean-
more information I can get out of this guy. Oh.
We can always ask one of the dead guys, right? got-
Oh yeah.
He points to your mask. As he points to your mask, you see that he's looking at the one mask on your hip, but he's also looking at the other mask on your hip because you have the uni mask. It's like,
All right.
we still never figured that out, did we?
No, and it's unfortunate that I can't wear. Can I wear 2 masks at once?
Why not?
We'll
I
figure
mean,
that out
Worth
soon.
to try.
You could always,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, just
But I've
adjust
worn
the strap, right?
hats
You
at
get
once.
longer.
Just feels weird.
But,
Nice.
Can
Hey.
I pick up? Can I pick up one of those knives?
yeah, they're you have
How
Karos has
do I
set them.
know?
Yeah, Karos has kind of set them on the bar of the not bar. They're just laid out.
Ah,
Do
crap.
they seem any more special than just a dagger? Are they dagger with poison?
He basically explained what they were. So they're tracking blades.
That's
They
right.
hit you
that's
with
right.
them. Yeah.
I thought that meant that they were just being tracked by something, not that that was like an actual
No.
thing. Sorry.
Yeah, anyone that gets cut by them is now trackable. But you don't know much of the details, you just kind of understand the functionality behind it. And yes, they can poison you. And yes, you guys saved against every single poison in the encounter. So you don't know
Naturally.
how potent it potentially is.
Could I perhaps keep one?
That's I don't. That's up to you and the group to discuss.
You gotta
I
arm
mean,
wrestle
Do
Karos.
you guys think if I stuff this in my bag, that they would track these blades themselves? Could we have like a dangerous signifier that they know where we're at all times or something?
Davis shrugs.
Rock would kind of step it. Honestly, I think it would make it more convincing. Because, right? I mean, I can if Al decides to talk to a dead one or pry through someone's brain some more, we can maybe, I don't know, I can make us all look like them. And if we actually have physical equipment, it might help us.
Yeah.
Pull off the. I mean, there's definitely enough, right? Like you look at it, there's 11 of them.
Yeah. 8 of
There's
us.
not 11 of us. So.
Maybe a good idea. Good thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
I mean,
I
I
say
still have
8,
the.
but would you guys want to be? Would you be down with this? And I look at the candlelighters.
Mole kind of puts his head through the window because he's keeping out. I mean, personally, yeah. It's not why I'm here, though. But.
Well, I know you guys kind of not pretend. From what I heard, you prefer the not so direct approach, and
I think the not so direct approach isn't gonna solve anything right
that didn't
now.
seem like it.
Like,
They found us, so it's not.
they did find you, and I'm very curious how. But I think it's they're following, trying to find the fancier dagger, right?
Yeah, right.
I look like
So
I'm not from here, so.
Yeah, we do
that's fair.
stick out a bit where most places we. Although here they've got it's a pretty wide.
it's pretty eclectic
Yeah.
here. Pretty much
It is
anyone is
silence.
trying. I mean, if you want to say people that don't fit in, he just like looks through to where Eno's standing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about him?
Look, he doesn't look, and Eno says, "You can say it." He doesn't look like what people think a tiefling would look like.
Hmm.
Stereotypes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stereotypes.
I think it's a
Yeah.
good look though.
Oh yeah. It also kind of helps him, kind of sometimes, I don't know, play it off as something else. It's pretty funny when it works.
Ah.
You don't
So-
say.
Yeah. But listen, I have to remove my personal wants, so only if my partner says yes. That way we have a consensus. If we don't have a consensus, then
Yeah.
I might have to sneak out behind his back and get in trouble later.
You're always welcome, but we don't want to push you into something that you don't feel like is the right thing for you to do.
No, it's procedure ain't working here. We gotta
Fair enough.
we're though something has got me concerned. I know it's not the time to think about procedure and operation, but if there was a cult operating out of here and we needed help elsewhere to mess with the cult and that place with Whitlaw, makes me wonder if maybe that cult is in Whitlaw too.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that place is huge. There's all sorts of little dark corners for things like that to happen, right?
Might explain why it was so difficult to get
Like there was an underground like dwarven
help.
fighting bar on the edge of town that I was like, okay, cool. That I found out.
You
about.
just hear Mole, a what?
Yeah.
That sounds
I didn't fight.
sounds
Like
like my
kind of
I
place.
didn't have the time, but the guys that run it seem pretty cool.
He legit like steps in now. He's like all excited. If we survive this, because let's be honest, never assume you're gonna survive anything. It's the best way to survive what you're getting into. We're going there.
Yeah.
And I want a rematch against, well, you, and he points to Carlos, and you. Because you guys stopped me. I don't like that. I'm getting old.
Everything has its plan.
I'm looking at my notes. What the fuck is the name of that place? Oh, the Snoring Lodge.
Snoring Lodge.
Yeah, so I'll just tell him, be like, yeah, Snoring Lodge out in the Kneeling District.
Alright, one
They
sec.
keep it pretty, like you wouldn't even look like the place is open if you didn't know. I had asked like a couple people, like, are you sure this is the right place? And they're like, yeah.
I love rolling history for my NPCs and getting a decent roll. It's like snoring lodge. Isn't this place the snoring mountain?
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Things you don't consider.
it's
It's a bit more awake now.
and it's like it is a bit more awake now, but you think that's a coincidence, but it's actually not. They knew quite a bit about the Snoring Mountain. It turns out their ancestors were Forge Masters. Yeah, that's what they were called, Forge Masters inside the Snoring Mountain.
Huh.
Does that mean anything to you?
Ah. No, I'm not really.
They
Very,
don't strike me as the much of the mountainous type.
yeah.
Yeah,
From
but he's
another
from
continent, I
here,
just
right?
kind of
So I
remember.
thought maybe you might know.
Mole was a.
I think
I
we've
mean,
asked them this before. I could be wrong, but I have a feeling we asked you guys before.
yeah, it's like Astrovera, not Astrovera, Astro. Oh my lord, I forgot.
I thought it was
Astronash.
Astrovera. Oh, it was, okay.
Astronash, I think.
Oh.
Let me check. I may have. Let me check my continent names. No, it is Astrovera. Yay! I got it right. All right, Astrovera. Mole's from here, and Mole will just kind of say, funny enough, I'm told, a little. The old name for the mountain was the Roaring Mountain.
Hmm.
I just think it's pretty cool.
And it like it rhymes too, so that's funny.
Yeah. I wonder if you go there and like the password is like Roaring Lodge or something, and that's how you know you can get in. Whatever.
Well, so by the way, there is a forge in the mountain and it works. That's where this came from. Poosh.
That is.
Yeah, you saw this
It,
already. Like that's where it came. We
yeah,
made it. We like all of us.
that's pretty
There's
cool.
these like bronze statue guys. I mean, they're alive. That work in there.
So,
They helped
It's a
us.
veritable artifact.
like Marians live in the
Kind
mountain.
of, but they're not. I don't know. Maybe they're related to the Marians, but they look like them. But they feel a little less. I don't know. They're far more like purposeful and like focused on their tasks rather than kind of doing what they want. You know.
If you have a sense about things, they have souls of eld. They're are they're way they predate us
Hmm.
a long time ago.
Interesting. I
Oh, and
maybe.
speaking of protocols, Scoot already knows that we're not much for protocol.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So the conversation with Scoot went well.
Uh. Yeah.
Okay.
Well enough. I mean, we're friends, but we were a bit pushy.
I should
I
apologize sometime for that, sure, but I
mean,
think
we
we still
did,
get
but
along pretty alright.
That's good. Okay. Well, we have a little bit of actual daylight, whatever can pierce these clouds. So what is the consensus for the group?
Perhaps we move in the night. It'd be easier to conceal our true selves in that end if we maybe partake in these felled elvish things and make ourselves some cloaks out of their garb.
Well, I think
Maybe take one of their daggers each and then
Brock can just make us look
make our
however he
way in.
wants, right? So
We still have a pass in either way for working, right? So I mean,
True.
we're
I mean, I
kind of
can't really
picking
do
our way in now.
alterations. I don't know.
My, we'll speak up. My one concern is, how much of the conflict did the potential observers see,
True.
and wouldn't they expect them to be back ASAP?
Yeah, I guess
If
we
we
gotta.
wait, we might. It's just a window of opportunity. That's all I'm considering and suggesting.
You're not wrong, but I have a feeling they know.
Maybe.
Up one all together. When I was inquisiting this guy over here, is he conscious by the way? I can't remember.
They're all of them. You guys are outside of the mansion. All
Oh,
of
that's
them are
right.
in the
He's inside
mansion
the
right
mansion.
now.
That's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
They're in like a rock prison.
Here, let me make another box real quick so they're not.
Purple's already a mystical
Demi
color.
plain
What
box.
color is this one gonna be?
That's
I
not a
don't
hooded
know.
assailant. That's a mimic.
Whoa.
I mean,
Oh.
Yeah, all the daggers
mimics
start
are.
moving around with little tentacle arms.
Oh no,
Oh,
you
they were
found out.
They were
teeth.
mimics all
You
along.
found out the secret alliance.
Oh.
Oops, I didn't mean to grab that. Just throw these bodies. I'm literally throwing bodies into
Yes, you
a
are.
pit.
Speaking of the urgency of time and maybe going at night, Dragnar, if I may do a little bit of RP or just try to tactics from him,
Yep.
he will say, well, if if the nighttime comes, I can speak with the shadows about some of the things that Al availed us of in his questioning or his digging, which may help us. But if we need to push, we need to push.
Well, I would. This is Karis. I would say it would be maybe a little bit. I get the urgency of time thing, right? But it wouldn't be a little suspicious if they show up empty-handed as
I
well?
mean, do they have to? This is Davis saying this.
I don't know.
Could we not just bring in one or two of us as like a prisoner potentially?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I think we might have to.
You're so smart,
When I
Karis.
was inquisiting the one guy, he
Why didn't you
was
just say it?
fearing for his life, coming back empty-handed.
Yeah, that's kind of what sparked the idea that Al, when you were just kind of like spitting out words, staring at the guy,
Hey, Mole.
Sorry, a lot of info. I forgot what I said and didn't say.
I will be one of the prisoners.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's hard to
I'm
make you
used.
much shorter with these things, right? And you're a big dude.
That's
They
fine.
know me very well. If I was a prisoner, that
Yeah, but you kind of need to
might get
focus
more
on
attention.
this, on some of the. Well, no, that's actually so out of character seeming is actually not concentration. I don't think, right?
Oh,
It
no.
is not.
Okay, so never mind then. Yeah,
Right?
that might
I
make
think
them.
I'd be a catch for them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they may salivate at that.
All right. So
But we do need to
we
figure
have.
out where the hell we're going, which I think is why Al was gonna go have some more, quote unquote conversations, right?
Yep.
All right.
Got a new word for it every day.
Well, we should hurry with whatever chit chats we're gonna have.
Right? We need like the names of maybe some of the people who came, or like if they have any like passwords or secret codes or a special handshake or something.
Yeah, we do
And
have
yeah,
only a
more-
limited number of things we can ask, though, right? So, but yeah, but I think that certainly any secret stuff, but names, we may have to. Can't imagine these guys are carrying identification on them, so who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other guy gave me like 12 meeting spots. I'm hoping we can be more direct with one of these other ones.
I'll
Okay.
clap Al on the shoulder, and be like, "Get to work, bud."
Yeah, password. Okay, new spot. All right. Rock, you want to come with me into the mansion, or should we? Let's pull one of them out. That might be.
I was gonna say I don't know if Rock would want to go. He resents him so much.
Pulling one of them out would probably be easier than worrying about the couple that are still alive in there.
I I mean, if we have to, it'll help.
Um, I'm gonna tell Rock you get to pick them out since
The dead one.
yeah, since
You pick.
you've got the questions.
It's like a human lobster tank. Pick which one you want.
I
It's it's fine.
anyone just grab.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
giving Rock a
Any
half
dead
smile.
ones.
just any of the dead ones are no, yeah. So
I-
one of them.
I want the shortest one.
Okay. You think you find the shortest one, Al, and You
Oh.
kind of position it, sit it upright amongst the pile of the dead.
Wait, is there? You know, do any of them have any like distinguishing like marks or like anything that would seem like ranks or do they just they're all exactly the same kind of thing?
Karos would remind you. No, I checked. They don't have
No.
any type of
Yeah, no tattoos or brands or anything like
no
that.
tattoos. They did have, and that's the other thing, very indiscreet little metal bands that they kept on their finger, but that's it.
And the weird, like,
Did,
scaly features and shit.
Yeah,
did they all
there's
have the same band?
yes.
Anyone with a bigger band, different color? Any? No.
Everything is
Uniform?
beyond their slight physical differences. Almost everything they have is identical, like down to the undershirt and everything that they're wearing.
Yeah.
There's
Go with the
no.
shortest one then.
All right, well, you grab the shortest one, drag him out. You prop him like I said, sit him up, facing towards you. Uh, we'll say this one is the one that Rock squished
Nice.
Hell yeah.
From the turnbuckle.
from the turnbuckle. So not the one that his head got plastered, but the other one that he jumped at. So sitting up there lifeless. There's no real signs of actual, long set signs of death because he is recently dead. He's a fresh kill.
Ah.
He is just still warm,
So are they doing this
Hasn't been
inside the mansion or outside?
up to them. I don't
Yeah,
know.
what do
I
y'all do?
missed that detail.
Um,
I mean, I am
I
reluctant to go into the wonderful land of pillows.
think
That's what we were thinking.
yeah, I'd probably ask Karos. I think we're going with this guy. Can you drag him out? I think he'll be safer than. And I'll point at the one in the corner who's still alive. I think it's safer than me being in here distracted with that shit going on. Um, yeah, and then if we could hop out of the portal, hop out of the mansion, prop him
Okay.
against the wall out here in the
Very well.
house.
All right. Dragnar will walk over to the cellar and kind of knock. You're not gonna want to come out for a while. Just, I hope you're comfortable.
Yeah, hey Mole, 3 more dwarves maybe coming back here, by the way. Here, let me just come keep watch with you, because they know who I am, so.
Okay.
We have a lot of explaining
right.
to do if they show up. It is their place, but I can help.
Okay.
Because it's, the end of the day is coming up, so.
All right. Very well. I'll leave it to you, Al. What are you doing?
I will kind of, yeah, he'll just kind of look at him for a few seconds, prepare mentally, pull out the mask, slowly put it on, and if the guy's propped against the wall in a sitting position, I'm probably kneeling. I'm probably on one knee next to him.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I'll don and activate the mask. I want to keep Rock within 5-10 feet, just if I have any, just so we can hear
Yeah,
anything I share.
that works. So as you don the mask, right? Those of you that are watching, you watch the paint begin to kind of strip away and fade as the essence, the incense smoke begins to kind of billow out and start to swirl around the dead assailant. No real damage to the face, so you just see it kind of all of a sudden the lifeless body breathe in the smoke. Let out an exhale. Looks directly at you, Al.
Ah, comrade, we're hunting for those who have stolen the dagger. We need information to continue the pursuit. What was your group? What were your names?
Ah, yes, there's many, aren't there? I am Stevens. There was Ricard, Elsbeth, Alba. You might as well start writing these down because I am just spitting them off on the top of my head. All right.
4 for 4.
All right. Christopher, Yonan, Sven, Flick, Amar. I don't know how many names I gave you. How many more do you need?
9.
Nine.
2 more. These are good.
Two more. Sweet. Zed and Damien.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eh.
okay, okay.
Who needs name generators when you can just stare blankly at a screen and just be like, what names come to my head? Go.
Subconscious, go.
Yeah, I do this.
Hell yeah. What was it? Good, good. You are excellent. Excellent. Uh, what was the
Zed's dead, baby. Yeah, it's true. Because our
Oh no.
Discord. Yeah.
Um I know we have many secret meeting spots across the town. Was there a specific one that Lord Loran Loran?
Hmm.
Uh Loran wanted you to meet him at once you captured the prey?
We would not meet with him directly. We would go to the sulfur pits to the north of town, find the hidden tunnels by the third pool, take him to the belly of his mansion. You know,
Of course, past the third pool. That's my favorite. It's my favorite secret tunnel we have.
he'll just kind of quit back. Yes, yes. Not to the south, where it is the second pool. I have made the mistake before.
Ooh, dangerous mistake. Uh, for the third pool though, do you remember if we had any kind of password? There's so many, so much to keep up with.
He kind of squints at you for a second. His dead forms. One of his eyes is kind of loose. It kind of slops off, and he tries to squint at you. All right, give me a persuasion check at advantage. You know, I understand. That's why I want to. Exactly. Yes, the magic item in itself makes it
I
where you
won.
have an easier time. God damn it, Ralph.
Hey.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh,
Charles always forgets the password.
yeah.
Fucking Charles.
What's the
I'm
hand
surprised I even remember
sign?
there was one.
What was the Oh, there he goes.
27.
All right,
Corporal said
well,
it's bad practice to keep it in a notebook.
Put it on
I'll
a
do a
post-it.
post-it note on my desk.
okay. Uh, yeah.
You see, Stevens, I misplaced my post-it notes, and I forgot. I did not commit this to memory.
It's
Okay.
saying I can't reuse any of my last 3 passwords? What the fuck?
Yeah, that is the most annoying. So what was the question? Sorry, or something about passwords? What's the?
Um, with the third pool entrance, do you remember there's any kind of password, handshake? There's so many of them, I get them mixed up all the time.
Hmm. It is that uh, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to find the note because there is actually a password, and I've been digging for it. And I guess I
Yo.
did say I've been having like I have to figure out my OneNote has like a little red X on it, as do a bunch of my files. So I'm guessing like I ran out of storage,
Oh, maybe it can't sync or something.
so it can't sync, and I need to figure that out. And I legit don't think.
It's Dragon's Rule 69, okay? We know this.
Like yeah, right. Just, no, no, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna YouTube it. Never mind. I'll find it. Uh, I can't think of a good password. I had a really cool password and I can't fucking find it. Let's just say, diamonds don't shine, they refract.
Ooh.
A little science fucking lesson for everybody that's listening. Yeah, so I don't know. It's a stupid one, but yeah. Diamonds don't shine, they refract.
Ah, yes, that's my. I should really remember that password. This one really reminds me of Loran.
He's very particular about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, name, password, main spot. Hmm. Not a character. All I have left is like secret codes once you get past that point, and phrasing. Phrasing might be more important towards the end here. Let me think. So we're not gonna meet with Loran directly. Bring a couple. Ah, yeah. Got 2 questions left.
Okay.
How many, I've heard we're getting different information between each group. How many were you said to hunt down?
Oh.
Were you told to hunt down?
We were told to dispose of the group that has the dagger in its possession. The amount was never specified,
Interesting.
though I, I'm not sure how they managed to evade us and why. It just kind of stops. If it was a regular Speak with the Dead, that's a bad question, my friend.
True.
Mm.
Because he would have just realized he's dead.
Ah.
But
Oh.
I had to remember this is a little different. He's like, wait, what? Why am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? What is
Yeah,
happening?
we were sent to hunt him down, weren't we? What happened about the? Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. You're good.
Uh. And shit. Unless it's a Hail Mary. I'm gonna tilt my head very slightly towards Rock to see if he has any suggestions.
If you're here, CJ.
What were you to do with the dagger?
I like that. Um, and did Laurent give you any instructions with the dagger? What were you to do with it?
While we waited at the Dragon's Tail, messages would be sent up to the dragon's snout. There, the appropriate ones would come and retrieve it. The family heirloom, safe.
Ah,
Well, we'll kind of give you a look. Dragon's Tail? I know where. Makes sense. I know this. Okay. He'll explain.
I just realized Al can smile without. He's wearing a mask, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it literally creates like a. You're not, but you understand them. They just see a someone they would have trusted.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't see the mask; they see the face.
Yeah. Party. Claim. Dagger. Nice. Okay. And I'm gonna send him off with a facade, just kind of very well. Uh, good luck on your journey. You will. Fuck.
He's just cracking up. He's like, "Thank you." And then the the smoke begins to pour out of his ears and eyes and nostrils. Slacks limpless again.
I will stand up, pull off the mask, and say, "That's always weird, but I think it gets weirder every time." I mean, the dragon, I don't really give a shit. Sorry. Sorry, have we told Eno and Mole about that already? We did, right?
Yeah,
That
we
you've
did.
killed a dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
I was like, shit.
And I was gonna say, meanwhile,
Go ahead.
Mull and I'm literally telling him everything about the heart of the mountain, like what we saw in there.
Hell yeah.
Okay, he's like,
And I'm even showing him like the along the haft of the glaive or the new glaive, like this is this and this is this, and like kind of just telling him like I'm just going a mile a minute.
gotcha. He's like, he's like trying to keep up. He's like, right, okay. So there was that.
And then we did this.
No
Yeah.
way.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I had a glaive,
What
and then
would
I had
hap-
to break it to get into the place. But then I was really sad, so then they made me another one. Yeah.
I would be sad too if my
Yeah, it was
trusty
super
ball
magical.
broke.
It was like crazy.
Yeah, that sucked. But hey, that's cool. When you take the mask off, like there's that pause, Al, right before you say anything.
Mhm.
And Dragon's Tail is another one of those hot springs to the north of town. I guess maybe that's where the third pool is. Nowhere to go.
Well, they said the sulfur pits, right?
Sulfur
Mhm.
pits, hot springs. It's all pretty much the same.
Uh,
When you go, there's a few that are a little nicer, and then there's a whole bunch of them that are out on the soot flats that are barely even managed and operated. People use them. Or, well, you have to be careful with some of them because they might be a little bit too hot. But I think I know more or less where the pools to the north that they're referring to are. Oh. That is a nice little tool you have there, Al.
Thank you, thank you. It's useful though, quite invasive. It's you all gotta use it against enemies. It's
Yes,
I don't know.
definitely something not for candlelighter work. As we try not to dispatch people in that
but
manner.
sometimes people
Oh,
just
it's
die, and.
unsavory things need to be done at times. I understand. So, we got more information. Looks like light is continuing to wane behind the clouds. Is there anything else that's
Dragnar is just
a
waiting for the
menagerie?
moment he can meditate. I would say. He's like basically it would be like as soon as it's sundown. If you give me, because how long does it take for his meditation? Is it like 30 minutes? I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So he'll just remind everybody. It's like if it comes to sundown and we're still making preparations, if you give me just 30 minutes, so I can talk with the shadows about Loran and particularly. I mean, Al said he cast the shadow of a dragon. You know. Maybe we can learn some more of his history and what he really is, or I don't know if there's more to him. That's all.
Well, I would like to suggest that
Excuse
perhaps
me.
we at least move somewhere closer to north of town.
Sure.
We could even swing to the burnt water. Should it not be for potential reasons, compromise, but we can head in that direction so we are closer to where we need to be.
And we'd get a better start at our day. We'll be closer to our goal.
Yeah.
Should we disguise first? Because I don't know if we should really be seen on the streets.
It only lasts 8 hours. You need to make sure we plan it out well.
Yeah.
Horace,
Uh,
you
Dragnar kind of
mentioned
cracks his. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Karis, you mentioned that the burnt scraps of a scroll, but there were no intact scrolls on any of those assailants, right?
Just the one. Tossed it over to Rock.
So it is unusable in this state.
Oh yeah, it's.
Okay.
He just rolled so high that I gave the little bonus that part of it survived, basically. So
Wait,
you
what?
That's
can.
What?
what,
It
a
was essentially the scroll that was like a modified pass without a trace. It's what allowed them to move,
Throughout
like
the
run
crowds.
through town without people, noticing them.
think that might be the only thing we can use as leverage for. Yeah, we had to wait until nightfall. We ran out of scrolls. It's the only
Oh.
thing I can think of. But I still think they would want that ASAP. I think we need to. I think we need to go tonight if we're expecting to be trusted.
Well, since we're all going to be showing up at once, we could say, hey, we regrouped before coming back here. Because we wanted to make sure, we all came at once to, I don't know, something like that. That could just explain a little bit more of a delay of time. Because if they got, well, I guess we're playing, we're not being defeated, right? We're showing up mostly intact, although there's not as many of us, so there would have to be some of them that didn't make it back.
Losses on both sides.
Uh, I think I overheard the names he was saying, and I'm dead. I'm calling that one.
What? Hmm.
Very well. Dragnar. I mean, if we want to save some of the magic, I can, if we all travel together, I can maybe improve our chances of not getting spotted.
Could you do what
Right.
they did?
No, but we've done this. I can make it so that
Yeah.
we're lighter of foot, and then
We don't really often use it around like crowds of people, though. It's kind of strange. I guess it still works the same way.
I mean, just look at the weather, right? There's probably
That's
not that
true.
many people out.
Yeah, I mean, Mull and I were out there. We barely saw anybody.
Oh. I mean, we saw those three guys and those two ladies walk by, and we were already all jumpy because what are they doing outside?
Yeah, that's
So
miserable shit.
yeah. So if we want to, let's let's gather, let's walk. We don't have to rush.
Yeah,
But
I
I
guess.
like the idea of getting closer.
Yeah, maybe we just go to the burnt water and then we can prep there.
All right. Very well. I guess give me a second. He goes over to where the cellar is again. Kicks on the side. All right, so we're leaving. I would strongly suggest you don't let anyone other than your brothers in tonight.
Yeah, and I don't. There's this portal here. Wait a minute, and then I'll look at you and I'll be like, can they even can they go in?
They're not aware of it.
Like it just doesn't even show it for them.
They would really have to get lucky to find it.
Huh. Okay.
Though,
They're not like magic
note,
people, just so you know. They're just like
that's
they
fine.
do. Yeah.
I will make note now that because it's here, I can't necessarily preemptively prep a getaway somewhere else.
Yeah, I guess that means how long does this stay? We need to be back here by this time tomorrow, then, huh?
Yeah, an hour ago,
Or it's gonna get real gross in here, or what? Like,
they're gonna come a spilling out.
yeah. Okay.
So,
I'll tell Willem, or no, who's it here? Who's it's not Willem.
it's Grim.
Grim. Yeah, I'll be like Grim, be like, you heard what all went on here, and
Yeah,
we
it
took
sounded like there was a lot of fighting. Where'd all
yeah
the buddies go?
yeah
Kind of.
that's funny you should ask. They're I mean magic is a thing. You maybe not are familiar with it, but our friend here, he kind of put them in like a little secret hidey space, which you don't have to worry about unless we don't make it back here tomorrow by sometime.
And
And
for the
then
record, they attacked us first.
yeah.
I can dispose of the bodies.
That's such a
Jesus
grim
Christ.
sentence. Please.
Rock,
Rock,
I think we have
please.
time is a bit of the essence here, Rock. I don't know
What?
how.
I did sleep. I don't know. I'm just trying to help.
I mean,
You know,
maybe when we're done.
We have a lot of powerful tools that require a lot of responsibility and
I feel like this is your fault for asking.
what?
Wait,
Okay.
actually, who is such saying that too? I don't actually
I
understand.
don't know. He's just like, I didn't. Okay.
Sorry, I'm a bit touchy. I don't know. I don't want to kill anybody. Whatever.
But anyway, so if
Sorry,
if you don't see us, but by like midday tomorrow,
Okay.
the secret place might return the bodies to you.
Got
we
it.
want to be. We will do everything we can to make it back.
Okay. Huh.
I mean, you
I
could
think I'm
just
gonna
like
stay next door
That's
and just have
probably
plausible
and-
deniability.
and tell your brothers as well,
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for him.
and maybe
if we
close
don't
the
walk
bar.
into-
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't get it.
Yep.
But well,
Neither do the customers. Wait, there are none.
you really don't like the name of this place. Very well.
It's just false
Would you guys,
advertising, is all.
as you guys are still kind of, healing and in a sling, though a lot better because Sedge kind of helped take away the pain of it. Could you help me carry a few things over? Just
Oh, absolutely.
one-handed. Thanks. And he'll just kind of point, all right, I need some of this, some of that. They're definitely going to want some of the dried meats. And then you just kind of help him carry over. He sets up next door. I guess be careful. Be seeing you.
Yeah.
I on the other thing, I saw nothing. I know nothing that's going on.
Good man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. We really do.
Hey, yeah, cool.
We owe you.
No, this is payback for helping the older brother. We're even.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to make that call, but I'm making that call. We're even. So, you might want to get going. Looks like it's starting to pick up just a little bit.
Good advice. Let's go.
Okay.
Take care.
All right. So travel time will not be fast, as most of y'all are not able to travel at at regular speed, going
If only
stealthy.
we had Marb.
Yeah. So it will take some time, but that will allow y'all to kind of weave through the chaotic layout of Carver, as best as you can to avoid any type of eyes being put upon you. Now, I will ask for stealth checks, so it's most likely just to see if there's not some sort of catastrophic failure. And the fact of the whole group would have to roll very, very low, and you already have a +10, so the chances of it happening is extremely small. But for the sake of it, can you just roll me stealth checks?
Okay,
Really, we just don't want to see anything super low.
I'll do Dragnar's rolls. Somebody else can do Kairos's.
Okay. And I got all in
When
now.
you say you don't want super low, that
Wait.
means I should not have rolled a 2?
Well,
I
but
mean,
you
I
rolled a
need to
12
know
then, right? Plus the 10.
12, right? Because it's a 10.
Oh,
So I need to add the
that
numbers.
trace?
Yes. Dragnar has passed without trace. Which I'll.
Yeah, so 12 total for me.
Yep.
Whoa.
Alright. Good brain. So, if you would be so kind to mark off 2 key for pass without a trace.
Yes.
Whoever's. Yeah. Alright. Well, okay, I may have jinxed it because, rolled a 5 and Mole rolled a 4 on the dice. Okay, so now I gotta actually do math and make sure that the group is not very suspicious.
Yo, Dragnar.
Uh,
He rolled a
Gotta figure it out.
19. So
Damn.
19 plus 10 plus 7. So
okay, well he just made up for like both of them doing so
MVP.
poorly, or like 2 of the really bad ones. So Karos is 22 stealth check if you can with a plus 10 on top of your regular bonus.
Quick Karos question.
Yo,
26 total, by the way. Sorry.
okay, y'all are fine, but that
Nice.
already shot it up. Okay, cool, very nice.
Good job,
What's
good
up?
job. Just double checking. He does not have the Nirvana cube equipped, or
No,
whichever.
he does. It is.
What is the magic number?
It's a locus. So it is part of his baleful flail.
They
So
they can stack. Okay.
yeah, so loci, the way that they work is, and this is why I have to go through and kind of edit some rarities because we're trying to make things better. So like, if you look at Rock's page, his Sentinel Shield is actually rare, not uncommon, because Wizards does not know how to balance things. Basically, what loci are, it's magical items that if attuned to, if used individually, they require attunement. But if you have something that's already magical, or that something already like, requires attunement, you can then merge the loci into that item. Look at it like, I don't know, like a jewel or a rune from Diablo 2, or like something that you put in a socket in like Path of Exile or something like that. And it just ups the rarity up to a point before it can't use. So his flail was a non-magical flail. He found the baleful claw of the hags, put that in there. It became a magical flail, uncommon flail. Now he put the cube in it, so now he has a rare Nirvana, baleful Nirvana flail.
Okay.
So that's how you have to kind of track it. You have to know where you put it because D&D Beyond does not support this magic system, right? Or this equipment system. So you have to kind of know where your things are.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. So his number, by the way, is 8 because it hasn't been a new day yet. His Nirvana
Perfect.
number is 8.
That was my
So just,
question. Awesome.
yep.
You rolled a 7. So close.
yeah.
Yep.
Sweet. Thank you.
Just to remember. Yeah.
I saw the. I almost want to say quirp. I saw the statement about the stacking. The attunement threw me off.
Yeah. So
That makes
that's,
sense.
I'm trying my best to do it. So like an example would be like Davis's glaive is already very rare. Or
It's
yeah,
legendary, the new one.
yeah, the new one's legendary.
Ooh.
So like he could not put a loci on it or into it. It just would not work.
Legendary's a max. Okay.
Yeah,
Artifact, I think, is the max, right?
Whoa.
artifact is the max. Yeah, but for the sake of it, like
Loci
most
can't go past
loci
that.
stop at very rare, if I remember right, just to kind of keep it of a balance system. Um, but that's it. So like Dragnar's Dreamerstone is the same thing. He puts them in his
Yeah.
hand wraps, which
Yep.
are not magical, so therefore he makes his hand wraps magical. But if he were to,
Put
you
it in
know,
his
put it,
show, which doesn't exist now.
yeah, then the show would be magical. And if he had like a magical weapon and he put the Dreamerstone in the magical weapon, then it would just increase the rarity of the weapon. But so it's just a way to look at it. Anyways, that being
Thank you.
said,
Thank you.
yeah. That being said, it does take y'all quite some time. When you guys are traveling through the town, the city, there, like I mentioned, there are still people out, but it is very much there's not a lot of people. They don't want to get rained on. People are not necessarily in the, best standings financially here, though you are in the gem dust, so they have some. So like the modern invention of the umbrella is not prevalent, everywhere. So people that do walk out in the rain either, put up a hood or something, or try to cover up themselves as best as they can. So rather than getting wet and potentially sick, they stay indoors. There are a few people, but you avoid any semblance of a crowd, and you feel that what eyes do fall upon you are not eyes that are, recording your faces and your features and your movements, but you're able to move through town just as anyone else. Um, and Carver, for the most part, while it does have some more common folk that you see, is very eclectic. So it is not too crazy to see such a menagerie of individuals. But you do make it to the northern archers that lead you out to the northern portion of the Soot Flats. And then you follow the same path that you did to find the burnt water. Seemingly the same as you left it. You are able to get inside, out of the rain, set up shop as best as you wish, and you're able to now, if you want, discuss what else needs to be done. Or anything else. But I will say that at this point, what light there may have been is basically slipping beyond the horizon.
So Dragnar would bring up the fact, like, hey, if you guys want to give me 30 minutes, I can do this. I don't know how long it's going to take, Rock, for you to do your stuff.
Sorry, what was that? I had a coworker in here.
It's okay. I'm actually looking it up. How long does it... Oh, seeming is a one-action cast. I thought it might have been longer.
Uh,
Oh yeah, no, she's so yeah, I can do that quick. There's a few things we should do in preparation for that, though. I mean, before like, if me and big guy over here are prisoners, you should probably kind of rough us up a bit.
Dragnar's like, well, as much as pleasant as that would be, I will probably spend the time meditating.
I mean, I doubt they'd take us back in perfectly healthy, fine, happy walking condition. Plus, what do we do with my stuff? I can't have my staff, but it would be nice to have some of it accessible.
As Davis, like, well, we don't actually have to rough you up, right? Like, you could just make it look like you got roughed up, right?
I thought maintaining an illusion or something, they would notice that I would be continually casting.
Oh, no, like, you're gonna make us all look like those other guys, right? Can't you just change yourself?
Ooh, can you read my spell?
Out of character, yes, you can.
yes, you can.
And we don't all have to look somewhat similar. It can be.
Yeah,
No,
you can change it however you want.
You just can't. You just can't change it while it's been cast.
Right.
After it's cast, it locks in. So like you can make,
Give yourself a black
let's
eye
just
and all that other shit.
yeah, you can do varying degrees of whatever you need to. What Mole will say is, well, I mean, if you trust me, he kind of opens up the pouch that he has on his belt. I keep my stuff in here. He kind of reaches in, starts pulling out his big old maul, drops it back in.
Uh,
I know we didn't go off in the best, but I mean, Eno's going to be holding the bag since I'm going to be tied up with you.
yeah. Okay. I'll hand him my staff. I know I won't yet. I'd also like to just to everyone, I'll be like, hey, I'll take the dagger and the mantle that went with it and hand them to someone. Be like, this is the prizes they wanted, so I shouldn't have. And I'd like to drop my attunement with the dagger and to my the hag thing, the broken engine.
The broken engine. Okay. With a little bit of prep and time, yep, you're able to sever the connection with the dagger.
Hey, Rock,
And
you... Doesn't that thing normally, like, float around you? The engine thingy?
It'll float around the staff.
But...
It'll be a combo deal. Once I need them, we'll get
Because
them
you can't
out.
have it on you when we go...
I know.
Quote-unquote, turn you in.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know, but I'll have them available for the big guy here.
Okay.
Yeah. So once I'm attuned, I'll hand the staff and the engine and my cloak over. But I'm going to tuck my bag deeply inside my shell. No one touches bag friend.
Fair point.
Gladly.
All right.
Davis will help you hide
That
it.
works
He knows how to hide shit.
Okay,
very
perfect.
well.
I'd offer to carry the dagger and cloak, but I think weight is my ongoing issue. I can carry almost 3 pounds. Almost.
Yeah, either me or Carlos could carry it. It's fine.
I
Good,
feel so
good.
bad for you.
Yeah, and then the rest of like backpacks and stuff, I can either leave it behind or the only thing I need is I want the bag of holding stashed hidden on me somewhere and my component pouch.
That's understood. I mean, I don't think anyone will be coming down here, so if you want to just leave your other personables, we can collect them.
Rock begins the 47-minute process it takes to take everything off my shell and person and backpacks and this and that and
Perfect. Dragnar can
Yeah,
meditate.
I believe
Owls.
that
Owls
would
watching all the time, like, what's he gonna do with the potted plant? Okay. Oh, well, I didn't know it folded up like that. What the hell?
yeah. So I will say for the group, you've never seen Rock look so small
he's
because
usually
all the things just
he's usually a hedgehog.
yeah, no, he's just kind of it's things
A hedgehog of shit
yeah.
strapped to him.
Now he's
I'm
Rocky. I mean, like let's be honest here. You're like 100 or more pounds lighter now, and you're like, this is how.
Like,
But at the same time, you're not
so that's how
carrying
I got
all.
scoliosis.
standing up straight. He's 6 inches taller.
Yeah, it's like
I'm actually nudge Davis and say we could also say this is why we took so long. We had to strip him of all his
oh
magical
yeah. This
stuff.
guy is just all this useless bullshit that we just kind of
We're just-
tossed aside.
Yeah, yeah.
No offense, Rock.
All right.
But if we
You
tell him it
just
was
called
all
his home useless bullshit.
well, if we tell him it was all quote unquote junk, then we don't have to present any of it. We can say, oh, we threw it away. It looked useless. You
I
know,
mean,
we're just dumb assassins.
Pantsy Pants wouldn't want any of it, so to him it's useless.
That's right. This is far below Lord Loran. Ah. How
So-
did these assassins talk, by the way?
Sorry, stream for the Steam sound. Forgot to go D&D.
It's all good. All right. So yeah. I will let y'all mull and think over planning if there is anything, and we can get to the shadow meditations.
so good with meditations and stuff. You guys do your planning. I need to step away for 20 minutes to grab some sounds.
Okay. Well, I have the feeling we'll do that, and then we'll see you in 20 minutes. Don't stress.
Wait, thanks.
Yep. All right. What are your shadow meditation questions for Dragnar?
Yeah, I probably should have been thinking of more specifics about that, huh? Let me look at my notes from last time.
No, that's fine.
Gosh. Said Dragnar should meditate on dragon shapeshifting and Carver. Yeah, sure. So pulling way back, thinking, sir, I guess Dragnar envisioning in his head what Al might have seen in his vision of the. Because correct me if I'm wrong, he literally said that he saw Maxime Loran casting the shadow that was had like a dragon silhouette.
Yeah. So the guy's vision, it was yeah.
Okay.
From what he could see. Yeah.
So I guess he would speak or would.
5 shrouded figures set up the storm. Motivation for the fervor. That's a big one.
So was it during the ritual that was supposed to be summoning the storm? Is that what it was?
Maxime's shadow is of a dragon. Sorry, say again.
So that was during the ritual that was conjuring that storm cloud thingy?
That was just prior. It was a vision of them chatting with Maxime in the room.
Got it.
But but just the lighting and the shadow through that.
Got it.
And then the vision with the summoning the dragon cloud stuff was right after.
Let me read how his shadow meditations.
Tier 1, you have proficiency with history and can add your wisdom modifier. While meditating, you can make a number of knowledge checks equal to half your proficiency bonus rounded up. You have proficiency on these checks or expertise if you already have proficiency. These checks also benefit from your wisdom modifier.
Where is that? I don't see it in this source.
It's on his notes. I don't know if you have access to them
Okay.
on his character sheet.
Got it. Okay. I was wondering. I was
I
like,
don't
there's a gap
know.
somewhere.
Yeah, I might need to figure out a better place to put it. But that's
Anywho,
really
yeah, and but it's the concept is that he's like, I guess he's meditating on the shadows, but it's not like a conversation. He's literally just asking them a question, kind of.
yeah.
Okay.
So part of his whole Shadow Walker deal is the shadows are always watching.
Right.
Basically, kind of one of their mantras or their sayings. So,
Okay, so then he would ask or inquire about in within Carver, has there ever been I guess let's is the elven form of Maxime Loran his true form, or does he take another?
okay, I gotta think of a DC for that. But go ahead and roll. It's so it's a knowledge check. So it's just essentially using
It's history, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
essentially.
but hit with his, he gets to use his wisdom, so. That's a 7 plus 6, 13. And is it advantage or no? Not advantage. It's just
It's
proficient.
considered expertise. Oops, I didn't mean to
Oh
click
yeah,
on that.
so it's
So
7 or sorry, then 17. Yeah.
17. Okay. Um, is that his true form?
Well, does he take any other forms? I guess
Oh,
is
does
the
he take
main
any other
thing.
forms? Okay. Sure. So Loran, well, so Dragnar will, uh, as he's meditating, hear light footsteps on stone floor, and they are exposed like human feet or human, like regular feet, nothing about that. And he's walking, and they're, from what he could tell, they're kind of dripping some water or whatnot. And as he's approaching, kind of where this individual is walking, the background begins to kind of fill in and draw in the shadow like style, and he sees essentially like a bathhouse kind of situation, though much smaller and perhaps more private. And there is polished silver mirrors on the wall, and there's different, like a robe upon this individual that he's looking at, and in the mirror he'll see the reflection of Laurent's face, but as Laurent is kind of putting on his robe and kind of looking himself over, um, there will be, he said, what was it, 17 total?
17 total. Yeah.
Yeah, Laura, Dragnar will make out the indications of like scaling under the eyes, some more like his cheekbones have like some little like horned slight protrusions. His chin has like two little spiky like horned growths out of it. Um, so hard to tell, but he definitely is hiding some sort of other visage.
Does it look so the vision that Dregnar has, does it look kind of similar to what the assailants had, just like more amped up or more extreme?
To his interpretation.
Mhm.
Um, but definitely a lot more scaling.
Okay.
So, sorry, didn't roll high enough. It's a
No,
pretty high check.
yeah, I only rolled a 7, so that's not great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. So he gets 2, right?
Yes, because he gets half his proficiency bonus. Rounded up.
If anybody else has anything they want to prep, I will be thinking of another one, but I can try and come up with one on the
Yep,
spot
take
if
your
I
time.
have to. Or if you playing as Karos can think of something, or if you playing as Dregnar can think of something.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Uh,
Be more on the Karos vein, I think.
my first thought's over the storm itself, but that's super vague. Let me
Well,
review the rules.
Well, I
let's-
have a vague thought of, since it's a historical thing, like maybe what happened with the last coup attempt, like why did it fail, or what? I don't know, something along those lines. Yeah. But that by itself is not
that
not a
works.
good question. I would say like that's too vague, and I don't know.
I mean, Karos would say you can refine it. Like, why did Scoot's rebellion fail 250 some years ago? Yeah, right now I am. Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm reading chat. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has half the cast right now.
Yeah. It happens. Life happens.
Yeah, life for sure.
I mean,
You're already 90% of the players or the characters in the game anyway. So.
yeah. Well, it's adding a couple more. That's like Karos would say. Maybe if you want to, you can refine the thoughts, but
Yeah.
uh,
Now it's just me as Danny trying to think, like, what's the best way to narrow it
Yeah, I don't
appropriately.
know.
Yeah. I'm usually
well,
pretty
what
good
do
at that.
we? Yeah, it's like the only thing I can say as your DM, because like I don't want to give you a question, right? Because I would
Right,
feel bad.
obviously.
Yeah, no, just consider what you just maybe some unknowns or something. If it's
Okay,
how do I
I
put it?
have something.
Even if you okay, yeah, go ahead. Because as I say, even if you waste a question, you're not necessarily wasting it because you're at least eliminating a potential something. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah,
You
finish off
can't
that thread.
score if you don't take a shot.
Right,
There we
right.
go.
You miss all the shots that you don't take. Wayne
That's
Gretzky,
what it
Michael
is.
Scott.
Thank you.
Ba-da-ba.
Yeah.
Um, so, Dragnaro meditate. So during the attempted uprising or coup by Scoot, was there a particular event or uh, fight or something that turned the tide against him, that such that it failed? Thinking, like Scoot's pretty bright and he knew his opponents pretty well, so there must have been something he missed. What was that?
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Okay. Change dice to
It's
this
not a
one.
bad question.
Ooh, a total of 26.
Noise.
26
Wait,
total.
no, sorry, is that plus 10, right? Because he's normally plus 6 and then add proficiency.
Yes.
So yeah, 16 plus 10. Yep, 26.
That's 26. Okay. Um. So what caused his rebellion to fail?
So yeah,
What was he not
Scoot
prepared for?
being the
Mm-hmm.
smart and well-prepared guy he normally is, why did it fail? Was there like a particular event or fight or somebody changing sides or something that tilted
Yeah.
it against him in a way that he didn't foresee?
Yeah. So yeah. So Dragnar will be pulled back 150 some years ago in the visions, which, in all accounts, is not that far back in the past for some of the things that he's dealt for.
Right.
And he will see the shelf, the carver as it was, and it was in a better state back then. Um, the various lines going to um, the mines and all that, lines to the mines. That's why it took me a second because I was like, wait, did I just say lines?
Lines
Okay,
of the
the lines going to the mines. and such. And he will see some time kind of pass quickly, kind of like fast forward, and then there will be the instance of the rebellion and what was caused, the cause of it. Simply put, he will see that the forces that were led by Scoot and his allies were knocking on the shelf's doorsteps, and that the conflict was being more focused up on the shelf than inside of Carver itself. That there'd be like another little jump in time where they breach into the courtyard, and standing by his side will be
Scoot side.
yeah, by Scoot's side will be uh a uh I'm blanking on the race, will be a Minotaur figure. Um and they are kind of, you know, coordinating and leading through. And as they continue to push forward, driving back what they can, there is much more heavily resistance on the inside within the Tefra. And at one point, there is a they're they're breaching into a building that, since Dragnar doesn't know what it is, can't make out what it is, but they kind of skips and they're breaching into the building, and Scoot kind of turns and looks around and the is looking for the individual, the Minotaur that was casting the shadow there with him, and they're not there. And then Scoot's kind of looking around, and the building that they're in, he sees various chemicals and beakers and such kind of spilt over, cast over side, broken. And then the next thing is like a big old white flash, which for Dragnar is a big old black flash. And then Dragnar kind of wakes up from the meditation and sees that basically what happened was Scoot wasn't an explosion.
Yeah.
And that is why he doesn't remember shit.
And
Apparently,
the implication is that maybe the Minotaur
sold him out.
was on his side and then was not on his side.
Exactly.
Got it.
And Minotaur is one of the family members.
Right. Mr. Solomon's family, who he is not on good terms with.
Yep.
So yeah, actually, so after that, Dregnar would seek, I would say, clarification from Maul. He would say, "Hey, how much do you know of your family's history and their role in the coup attempt by Scoot? You know, those many years ago."
Mm. I don't know. I just know that they were on. I mean, my family licks Laurent's boots, from what I gather. Figured they always have licked his boots.
Well,
Why?
what I and I guess I don't know if Dregnar's explained what he can do with the shadows, but at this point he will, not to plug the show, but that is funny. What he does in the shadows, but he just says, you know, well, I have a connection with the shadows, and I can, through meditation, I can sort of seek out knowledge that the shadows may be aware of, and it seemed as if while Scoot and his forces were pushing through the shelf, he was running stride for stride with what appeared to be maybe a member of your kind. Since I believe there's not too many of you of the Minotaur kind here, right? They're almost exclusively in your family, right?
Yeah, I mean, you get
or
I
associated with them at the
remember,
very least.
yeah, I remember seeing a few that worked the mines when I was a kid.
Yeah, he was
For the
walking
most part,
shoulder to
yeah.
shoulder with, I assume, one of your ancestors, or maybe your grandfather. I don't know how long you all live and how far this goes back, but he
Yeah.
was shoulder to shoulder with one during the push. But then at like a very key moment, he looked for the support and they weren't there, as if he had been abandoned.
Hmm.
None of this sounds familiar.
Not the stories that I hear. I just know live in the life of luxury or lap of luxury. Lick his boots, get what you want, get fat. My family's a bunch of fat cows. Doesn't surprise me though.
So you think they would have potentially sold him out for
I don't
the?
know him. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
but my family kicked me out of my home, right?
Yeah. Well,
Wouldn't surprise me.
no loss for you, it seems.
Just kind of
Other than just, it hurts losing family, but
no, and kind of sucks to hear more shitty family history.
yeah.
Be
Well,
glad when I don't have to be here anymore. I'm looking forward to fixing this place, but
well, you can leave that legacy for your family's name instead of what it is right now.
yeah, but I'm stubborn. I still introduce myself as a Solomon. Doesn't seem to really matter with most people. They don't get the reference. I don't know why I don't hold on. Why I hold on to it. I should drop it. Whatever. Well, now we kind of know, I guess. He points to his head where that big old dent in Scoot's head came from.
Yeah, it would seem so. Hey, you know the families pretty well. This looked like a. I mean, it was pretty. It seems like they were fairly deep into the shelf, where I assume the higher ups and the families and such may live. And does anybody that lives on the shelf? I mean, I know you haven't been there for a long time, but you still, better than any of us would know. Do any of them seem to be interested in kind of like chemistry, alchemy, like messing with, you know, tinctures and solutions and performing experimentation with things like that? Because that's where this all took place, is what it seemed like.
I mean, particularly no, but I know that especially the Ron's folk like to do whatever they could in their spare time. I mean, they were able to. I mean, when you have money and resources, you could procure all manner of equipment,
Hmm.
tools, and whatever. I know that, I mean, there's, I guess, you see, he's trying to think,
Yeah.
and he's trying to pull.
While he's thinking that, so Dragnar in his head, um, so since he had the first vision, which he presumed was Loran in his own like chambers, his own, you know,
Uh-huh.
uh, now that he gets the hint that the place with all the beakers and such like might have been in Laurent's house, he'll try and compare the two. Like, oh, did it look like similar decor, similar
Oh.
like?
It's hard. That is really hard to do in this because everything is basically black, white, and shadow cast,
Okay,
right?
fair enough. Yeah. I was
And
just
this
like,
was
is
like a
there just sort of like same sort of
I
like
get you.
support
Yeah.
structure, same sort of like wall like textures on the
I
floor and that kind of stuff, you know?
I get you. And as he's trying to think about it, he comes to the realization, well, like it was a bath versus a
Like a
walking
study or
up like a
something.
staircase or
Okay.
study. Yeah, so it's very different.
Okay, fair enough.
Um, good thought, but unfortunately, two different
Yeah,
uh
especially with the
other
medium.
locations. Yes. Solomon would say, I mean, the best bet I have is in like the private studies and different chambers that the various homes of the shelf owners have, they often house, at that time when I remember, had like visiting scholars or occultists or those of study. So I'm sure they have labs and
Yeah.
other libraries and resources for them to, well, one, flaunt amongst themselves, and two, I don't know, have people work on things for them. So, but best bet is probably the biggest mansion, which happens to be Loran's.
Of course.
I mean, he's got an observatory. Flaunts it even amongst his own people. So,
Sounds like a real gem of a person.
yeah. Strikes me as the scaly kind of person. Not looking at all this. Very well. Any other preparations? I got your friend's equipment in my bag. Eno will be holding on to the bag.
So he can actually carry
Okay.
things.
I mean,
I leer at you.
yeah, Eno kind of points to a belt that he's wearing. Kind of helps compensate. Out
It's
looks
just a lift
vaguely
belt.
familiar.
It's just
Yeah.
a regular lift belt.
No, I just gotta rub it in Al's face. There was a belt that would have given him powerful build.
But
Tabards.
I forsook that to be able to turn to crows instead.
Which you can't
Which
even
you
do.
can't even do now. Now you can hit things occasionally.
So, Karos will say, so, let's just run the plan down real quick.
Real
Rock.
quick note. Plans and us occasionally work, but usually don't.
What's a plan?
We tend to. We'll do what we can, but the moment things go a little off plan, it's game over. We just kind of wing it. So be prepared.
There's
Just
a
say be
chance.
prepared. That's all I'm saying. Just be prepared.
But with all this experience, we are really good at winging
We're
it.
super good at winging it.
Well, winging it is important. And I will, as Adam, I will say, swear I get to use one of my favorite quotes. Planning does not find solutions, it develops consensus. That's all planning does. As long as y'all are on the same page, that's what you're trying to be. So, I'm just kind of clearing this up because I realize that all this has still been here. And I never moved you guys over. I'm moving y'all, I'm pinging y'all. There you go. And I guess you guys would technically be more over here.
Or oh yeah, the thing is planning is everything. The plan is nothing.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, cool. That should be better for this stream. Okay. No, so Carlos will kind of run it down. Just this is actually me trying to make sure. So some of us are going. Well, all of us. Wait, Rock. How many can you make us look different? I think it's 8 willing. It's 8 creatures, right? Oh, is it?
The spell allows you to change the appearance of any number of creatures that you can see within range.
Cool.
Within
Oh,
30 feet.
town.
So as long as we can huddle within 30 feet.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, you know.
Remember, guys, it only works if we hug. Come on.
That's right. Remember, hugs mandatory.
Rock kind of opens up his arms. Okay. So
Don't
we.
hug too much. We might accidentally teleport.
Oh, he's here. Very nice.
Only if I draw a
So,
circle.
who's carrying the mantle of spell resistance and the scale swarm blade?
I'll leave it to you to decide whether me or Karos do. Just because, I mean, I know we can both carry it. It's no big deal.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. So,
Make Karos do it.
Fuck it. Okay. Uh, very well. So Karos will have those 2 items on his person. So he will be one of the assailants.
Mhm.
Who else? How many people are going to be captured and how many people are going to be assailants? I guess is my question. So Rock and Mole are in the capture group.
I will say,
Boop
I don't
and Rock.
relish
Definitely
it,
have his
but
inspiration.
you don't even need to take my weapon away for me to be captured, and I can still fight at a moment's notice. So, if we want to have, lots of prisoners, then I could be one.
I don't know. I mean, we want to come back with a sizable contingency too. So 3 prisoners, 5 of us returning. I mean, they sent 11.
Yeah, and that's like half for half, about right.
Yeah. Well, they
Wait, is it?
probably.
I don't.
I mean, do we really know how big? Good math, by the way. Half for
Was
half.
it?
Good math. Very good.
Okay.
Um.
Davis is still trying to run them numbers in his head.
Yeah.
He just said it
Cars kind
randomly
of
and was
saying
like, "Wait, that's right."
wins. Yeah. Um. So, but no. That being said, um, we'll all look like hooded assailants. I guess we all need to look elven. Um. The shaping and the sizing won't be too difficult as long as they don't brush into the illusion. I would suggest that we do take as much of the physical equipment as we could have. And that's why you guys gather like the cloaks and stuff like that. So those of us that can fit into the robes or the cloaks and hoods should. So that way, if we do have to interact with anybody, it's not so obvious. Um, Other than that, we just make the 3 of you look scuffed up like you're coming from a rough battle. And you just need to square away what we're going to be telling them why it took time. And I guess maybe this might be a good place to take a small break. So a small break, like a proper, like let's do our 15 minutes. So you can maybe think of what you want to say or anything. Just make sure, because you have a password, you have to say why it took so long, potentially show them the scroll. That's not that. So does being back at 40 sound good? 35, 40?
Yeah.
Ye- ye-
Okay, cool. All right, go ahead and
Sounds good
pause
to
it.
me.